Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to be doing another fantasy creature today. We're going to do a techno creature, okay? This is more like maybe in a sci-fi genre rather than a fantasy genre, but I'm kind of using fantasy creature to encompass any kind of creature that isn't real, right? That we don't have in reality. So this is when you add kind of, maybe you take something that's more of an animal, not a human, right? That'd be more like a cyborg, but an animal, and maybe you add some cybernetic parts, you make it part robotic, or maybe the whole thing is robotic, okay? I've seen it, it's not a huge thing out there, but I've seen it in some video games and some board games, and it's just out there as a thing. So let's go ahead and look at some examples, and then let's make our own techno creature. So when thinking about cyber creatures, the first thing that came to my mind was this creature from an old movie called Clash of the Titans. And it was more like a clockwork creature, but it just came to mind as it's like maybe one of the first things I saw as a kind of robotic creature. And then next was this really cool toy from Transformers from the original line. They had this panther, but here's some artwork of it, and the artwork looks awesome, right? Okay, now to look at some more recent things that I've just stumbled across here. So here's another panther, not from the Transformers line. Here's a more dog-looking thing, right? Oh, it's a dog. Let's just call it a dog. This, I was trying to figure it out. I think it's a cat. Yeah, it looks like a cat, right? But it's even got fur, so this is like kind of a mix, right, as opposed to all robotic. And I thought this was a really interesting little cool thing. This ostrich with the legs look robotic. I think the body looks like a real ostrich, yeah, with some kind of cybernetic enhancements. This I just kind of randomly found, an all robotic spider. This is more like a dinosaur, right, looking creature. Multiple legs, an alien-y dinosaur looking creature. So this is art from a video game called Zero Dawn. And this is kind of what got me thinking about this whole genre when I ran across this concept art. And I just thought it was so cool. And all the different creatures they had, and just all robotic looking, but it's kind of still feral looking, still animal looking, right? So these look like kind of crab-based ones here. And then some really resemble kind of, just the animal, like this huge kind of eagle, bird of prey kind of thing. And some just kind of look like, dinosaur, and a little more alien with a head, but, it could be like a giraffe-shaped body, but huge. Looks like a kind of cat-like looking thing, bird of prey. And then they got the animal she's riding on, too. All right, this thing. Looking kind of like some kind of predatory animal, right? Somewhere between a dog and a large cat. I thought these were really cool. It looked like you could almost be riding inside of these, right, with a cockpit that kind of still kept. I thought that was a cool design. All right, this one looks a little more Tyrannosaurus Rex looking thing, right? Still cyber creature, right? Still cyber animal, right? Even if it's based off a dinosaur. This one I like a lot. I love the engine looking stomach, which makes it look like a turbine engine or something, right? Like a jet engine. It looks just so powerful, right? With those massive legs and the muscles that are kind of still shown by like cyber kind of looking strands. Yeah, this was a really cool one. So we're going to do our drawing of a tiger. We're going to use that as our basic animal form. And then we're going to build upon it and just add a bunch of technology and whatever we can do to make it look like a cybernetic techno creature. Okay, so let's just start and get it going here. I'm just going to rough out the basic shapes. By the way, I've never done a techno animal before, so this should be an adventure. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to rough out the basic form, just like normal. Alright, so his body. Got his chest, obviously the head over here. And this is not the sort of thing I would expect to, if I was designing this professionally for a, company or something, I don't think I would expect to get this right the first time. This is definitely the sort of thing I believe that would take quite a few iterations, where you're kind of working out some of the mechanics and coming up with things that look more robotic and that sort of thing. So we'll see what we come up with. This is just an exercise, obviously.
So we're not going to draw this a billion times. But that being said, I'm not expecting a masterpiece. We'll try though. Okay, this leg is tough to get here. So figure out what's going on. Something like that. Okay. I guess what I like about some of the drawings is when there's when it looks like the basic form of an animal, right? But there's definitely some things that they just make like machine and they kind of like it has something to grab onto that's just machine like and not resembling the animal. I don't know how to explain that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking up a bunch of reference and just getting ideas from things specifically in the game Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm just gonna beg, borrow, and steal some things. So I'm just kind of adding these mechanical parts here. Hopefully I come up with something decent here. So I'm kind of a fan of this deer they have, or a moose-looking thing, and it's got some like kind of cartridge-looking like tube things with like fluid in them or something. I think that looks kind of cool. So I'm going to stick those on my animal. It just stores its whatever fluid right on its body. So it's just some cylinders right here. Right, there's some wires coming from them. Okay, I'm gonna do like a grill thing here. I want something interesting for the face here. What would a tiger? Don't necessarily want a tiger face on it. Let me see. So I'm thinking like some kind of lens here, or some kind of like sensor tracker lens thing, because it's some kind of tracking creature or something. I don't know. All right, I can work with this, I think. Another thing I liked were those spines on one of the animals. The antenna is kind of just sticking out. We'll add something here. house the antenna arrays. Maybe it communicates to other tigers or other tracker tigers, whatever they are. Neck connection. Okay, maybe it's got a plate here. Right, just do kind of a bunch of like circle gear looking things. Imagine the chest here continuing. Again, it's power right. Let me see, his power is actually going back. What kind of paw would it have? So I'm just picking out shapes and adding shapes, little squares, little boxes. I'm actually going to keep that shape right there. I used for a structure. I'm going to use that. Robots used to be so easy back in the days when they were all square and just whatever. Now things are so much more angular and make something look futury. It's got to be all. It's got to make a little more sense now that we have like a lot of more frames of reference for actually what robotic things look like. Does it need a tail? Why not? The old coil tail. Like a light on the end or something. All right. That's the basic idea, I guess, for my Robo Techno Tiger. Now, to do it all in dark pencil. So, I would definitely do this sort of thing normally with a light board and another piece of paper because it's, you know, a lot easier than racing and trying to draw on top of your structure. But once again, I'll just do it this way. Definitely start from the back. That way I don't smear it as much as I normally do. Another thing I'm kind of a fan of is when they have like little like numbers and symbols on them. They've been marked. Production line. So kind of a fan of wires hanging down, just kind of randomly underneath here. So inevitably, with all the techno detail, this one's going to take a little longer than some of the ones we've done. That's all right. Hopefully it looks cool and is worth it. Okay, in terms of like all the techno stuff, I don't really have any good method, and I'm not necessarily the best at it, but I'm just kind of creating shapes, looking at a bunch of examples, like a reference material, and just picking and copying things that I like, picking and choosing, and you know, that sort of thing. I don't have any specific. There might be a better way to do this. There might be, I'm sure, somebody who's like a designer on a game like Zero Dawn probably would have some good advice. But I would say look at reference material and you know, get inspiration from anything you can, anything real, anything. Anytime you look at some real photos of some like robotic, and there's plenty of um, robotic-y stuff now to look at. Um, it's gonna help a ton.
All right, so I'm gonna draw another plate down here. And kind of like the outer shell maybe has these plates like that protect it. And the joint is always interesting. I'm trying to make it look good. I'm not sure I did a convincing job on this one with those cylinders, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, maybe like a corrugated connection here to the paw. Okay, making little triangle kind of wedges, metallic looking like wedges. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to work left to right, and that's just gone the windows. I started adding detail. I'm gonna move back here to the left side a little bit. Okay, let's finish off this section. And again, I'm gonna add these cylinder looking joints here. see. Gotta really kind of think of the way these are working here. Yeah, it's just gonna be what it is. Let's kind of fill in some inner parts here a little bit. I'm just gonna keep jumping around, I think. Some little details hanging down there. Make it look like there's an inside there with some wires kind of being protected by that grill. Kind of putting off this foot. Let me go back here. Okay, I want to make this paw look a lot like the other paw for the most part. Do these wedges again. All right, let's get this back leg a little bit now. Just trying to mimic the shape here. Okay, kind of do a little silhouette here of it all. Again, just using my trick, relying on little atmospheric silhouette to insinuate detail and not have to draw it all in the front. Okay, now this kind of shell thing on the head. Okay, just trying to define the top here, and then the lens. Big old tracking lens. I want to make it look kind of rounded, but like black. Put a little shine up there on the top. Like it's kind of glass. Okay, I like to get to these cartridges I started a while ago. So kind of gonna make a little clamp here so it looks like it's held into place. Then put some like metal caps on the back and front of this thing. Some like little spout maybe where the fluid comes out of, goes into the wires. All right, I'm gonna rough out some like kind of fluid. I want them to look like see-through canisters, so we can see the inside of that back one there a little bit, and then some fluid kind of being swished around there as it moves. Okay, gonna try and mirror the front one. a little nozzle. Bring that tube down. Kind of feed it underneath there. Define this clamp a little bit. Just fill in some detail there. All right, move to the front. Maybe put some of my grills there. Maybe that's where like it takes audio input from. And I'm going to kind of make this front bottom part open. Not like a mouth, but I want to put like a bunch of sensors there. Kind of continuing this kind of tracking idea. Maybe it's got some like a bunch of antenna, like sensors sticking out. Trying to draw like little round sensors that get like thicker, you know, like tubes, and kind of want to make them look uneven in spots. All right, let's get a little silhouette going on this back leg here. Give the little shell on the top there a little edge so it looks three-dimensional. Got to figure out a way to connect this thing. All right, kind of doing like a brace kind of looking rounded thing there. And then just need to fill in this top for the most part. All right, got this crest up here kind of thing. The spines come out of, the sensor spines. Try to square it off at the end here. It just needs a little paneling right there. You know, I never put a, I gotta give that a little shadow, just a little bit so it looks three-dimensional, that tail. You know, the little details kind of make it all feel a little more complete. adding like a little bit of like detail on the helmet there, a little written thing, a little barcodey thing. Gives it a little character, a little something. Okay, we're getting there. Let's get these antennae going here. Gonna make a little wider tube kind of that they stick out of, give it maybe a little support. And then this skinny kind of antenna part here. A little end on them. You know, I think you'd see the other cartridges on the other side, so I just want to kind of hint at that on the opposite side of this Cyber Techno Tiger thing. And I think that's about it. Just gonna clean it up a little bit here. A couple little touch-ups, but I think we're wrapping this thing up here. It's a little sloppy in areas, but I'm trying to just define those grills. I don't want it to look, I don't want to lose the detail. Just trying to make some things uneven. A little knob sticking out there. The leg didn't feel squared off as much as it should have been. It's a little too organic. Okay. You can just kind of keep going until you feel it looks complete. Or looks like a finished drawing, but I think that's going to about do it for me here. Well, I hope you guys are happy with your Techno Tiger. Hope it came out all right. I'm okay with this one. I think it could use another pass or iteration of it, but you know, we got something down for the first time here for a Cyber Techno creature, and hope you guys come back for the next one. We'll be doing a alien fantasy creature. All right, see you next time.